Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is December 19, 2024, and we are getting into the volume 229 of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, before beginning this video, I'm gonna mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their Visa Bulletin. So let's start with the very first question from Harun Anazifi. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Please, I have a question. I have been documentary qualified since December 21, 2023. I have not received my interview date. I am a Nigerian citizen but currently Dubai. My wife is a US citizen. When should I be getting my interview date, please? Harun, thank you very much for your question. Really appreciate it. So the great news is that because your wife is a US citizen, that means that you are in immediate relative category. So we are not dealing with the Visa Bulletin. Your immigrant visa has been available ever since your I-130 has been approved. Alright, so since you were already documentarily qualified back in December 21st, so almost a whole year, pretty much a whole year, that's definitely great news. The only thing that you're waiting for is the line of people that are in front of you that have been scheduled that interview. One thing that you can do is you can reach out to the US Embassy in Dubai and let them know, say, hey guys, I'm in immediate relative category. I have been documentarily qualified for a year now. Just wanted to see when my interview was scheduled for. Sometimes in some situations they can tell you it is an official announcement. So technically, they should be able to tell you over the phone. Don't be upset if they don't. Don't try to argue. For everyone who's watching these videos, I always say, pointless to argue. Whenever it comes to any kind of government agencies, don't argue. Just say thank you, appreciate your time, and that's it. But even if they don't tell you any information, if they don't tell you when your interview is scheduled, if they don't tell you how long approximately it takes for people in immediate relative category, even if they don't give you nothing at all, you have been waiting for a year now. On average, that's how long people are waiting. So about a year. Possibly US Embassy in Dubai, they might be busier than usual, but not too busy. So potentially there might be another few months. But regardless, your interview should be really somewhere around the corner. So I would say within the next couple of months, you should definitely be getting your official announcement. One thing to keep in mind is, you probably already know, but I'm going to repeat it for everyone. They cannot announce the interview earlier than 30 days. Very rarely in some embassies they do, like in Philippines, they do 60 days before the interview. Most of the times it's 30 days before the interview. So let's say, for example, Huran, if your interview has been scheduled for, let's say, March 1st, 2025, you're not going to find out until February 1st or whatever 30 days before March 1st is. But around February 1st, 2025. The reason why they do it is because they give you 30 days to go through the medical examination. But you're very close. Honestly, I would start putting together all documents, all of the documents that have been submitted during the documentary qualification, just so that you have a nice folder, everything put together, you're prepared, because it should be somewhere. It really is around the corner. And once you get it, please come back to this channel and let everyone know how long you waited total, because it's going to be helpful for a lot of people, especially people who are waiting for you for their interviews in Dubai. All right, let's move on to the next one from Peppa Pig. How do you know your fee waiver approved or not? If not, how do you pay the fee? Great question. Thank you for asking. So whenever it comes to the fee waivers, the same way you get the notice of action, the receipts from USCIS, the same way you're gonna get a notice of action on your fee waiver, and they will let you know whether or not it has been approved. If it has been approved, that's it. If it has not been approved, you will get the notice saying that it was denied, and that in order for the application to be processed, you do need to submit the fee. And in that situation, what you do is you take the copy of that notice that it was denied. You put it together with the check. You put it together with the original notice of receipt if they send it separately. Sometimes they do, most of the times they send it together. But if they did send it separately, I'm talking about the main application for whatever it is you are requesting the exemption. Put it together and send it to them with the payment, and yeah. All right, let's move on to the next question from Kalashnikov 3569. F1 category, documentarily qualified, 3 years. Now waiting on interview letter, priority date 2016 August. Just want the Visa Bulletin to move through 2025. All right, let's take a look at the Visa Bulletin. See what's going on for the F1 category. I believe it is somewhere in 2015, 2016. So for January 2025, for F1, all chargeability area, you're already documentarily qualified. We are looking at November 2015. And you are in priority date August 2016. So November 2015 to August 2016, we have December, we have January, so 6 months. So you're about 7 months roughly away from the availability of your immigrant visa. So you really are close, getting there. Yeah, hopefully we'll see consistent movement on the Visa Bulletin. All right, let's move on to the next one from Damn Trucking. My case got just approved, family-based. Can I apply now or should I wait for 3 years? Okay, so that was a question on I-485 application to register permanent residence. Great question. So it depends. Most of the times you don't need to bother with I-485, a separate application for permanent residence at all, because the immigrant visa that you're receiving in the embassy is already a permanent residence. So when you arrive with the immigrant visa, the I-551 stamp, it converts to a temporary permanent resident card until you get in the mail the actual permanent resident card. So there is no separate I-485 application to register permanent residence, because the immigration petition that is submitted by the relative by the petitioner for the beneficiary is already for that permanent residence. In a way, you're coming in as a permanent resident, as an immigrant. Your plan is to immigrate to the United States. You're coming in as a permanent resident. So most of the times you don't have to bother with it. The only time where you have to look into the I-485 is when you are filing a petition, the I-130 petition, with the beneficiary present in the United States of America. So if they are here, if they will be going through one of the USCIS field offices, in that case you are submitting as one application package. You can do that, or you can separately do the I-130 and separately the 485. But most of the times you don't have to bother with it. So let me know how your case is. If the beneficiary is outside of the United States and they are going through one of the consulates, one of the embassies, you don't have to bother with 485. All right, let's move on to the next one from Hital Yupat. Sorry if I probably am really mispronouncing the name here. Hello, I had H4 EAD 5 years back on my spouse's employer. Then we moved back to India. Now again, we moved back to USA after 5 years and want to apply for H4 EAD. My husband changed employer. What should I choose in I-765 form? First time applicant or EAD renewal? Please guide me with my application. Great question. So it's not going to be, well, it's not exactly renewal either, because if you think about it, the renewal is when you have an EAD expiring and you're renewing the EAD. So it's not exactly renewal. So most likely it's going to be the brand new application. But I would check with, because that's the thing though, it's the same status, but you do have a different employer. Well, your husband has a different employer. So no, most likely in your case, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the first time applicant. But I would reach out just in case, just to be on the safe side. Reach out to USCIS directly and ask them, just to be on the safe side. Use their main customer support line. You can find it on uscis.gov, in contact us. Let's see, contact USCIS, here we go. And I'm gonna actually post a link so that you don't have to search for the number. Let's see, administrative fielders, contact center. Yes, there you go, the contact center, that's what we need. Live assistance, we're getting there. And if you think this is hard to find the phone number, no, wait until you actually call them. All right, so here's the phone number, toll-free number. And I'm gonna paste it here. Contact. Most likely they will tell you it's going to be a brand new application and not a renewal, because like I said, renewal is same employer, your nothing changed basically. But because there is a different employer involved, I think most likely they're going to say a brand new application. But again, I would definitely check with them before actually doing that. All right, let's move on to the next one from Muhammad Kone. Hi sir, documentarily qualified 2022, priority date June 28, 2016 from Liberia. When do I expect my appointment? Thanks. All right, it's F24 visa category. So that would be F2B. Let me double check. And let's take a look at the Visa Bulletin and see what is going on for F2B. So you are from Liberia, so we're looking at all chargeability area, and you are in 2016, and F2B is right now on May 2016, and you are in June 2016. So May 2016, June 2016. So as of January 2025, because we're still in December, 10 more days we have. Well, 11, 12 more days. In January 2025, you're going to be 1 month away from the availability of the immigrant visa, because you are in June and visa is just now getting to May. So hopefully on February, in the February Visa Bulletin edition, we will see that 1 month's movement and you will become current, hopefully. But yes, you know, one thing for you to do right now is keep checking the Visa Bulletin. On this channel, every month the new Visa Bulletin comes up. I do a comparison, so if you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing not to miss those videos. But you're very, very close. You're almost there. All right, let's move on to the next one from Aka Loverboy. My priority date is 4 March 2015, documentarily qualified 14 October 2020. My date has been current for some months now, and I'm still waiting on my interview. Not sure why so long, from Guyana. So whenever it comes to you being current on the Visa Bulletin, that means your immigrant visa is available. Once the immigrant visa is available, your interview is scheduled, and it's scheduled pretty quickly. Once you're current, 2-3 weeks, usually within a couple months at most, your interview is scheduled by the US Embassy, in your case in Guyana. But there is also a wait time for the actual interview of the people who are waiting in line for the interview, who have been scheduled before you. And it seems like the embassies are catching up with that, and the time is getting shorter. Right now it seems to be about still people waiting for about a year and a half. So what I would recommend to do, because you've been waiting already for a few months, being current, reach out to the US Embassy in Guyana. It's not necessarily it's not a guarantee that they will tell you any answers or any useful information at all, but it's worth a shot. So let's take a look, and here we go. US Embassy in Guyana, so it's in Georgetown. There we go, and here is their phone number. So reach out to them, again, let them know, say whichever category you're in, say that you're already current on the Visa Bulletin, which means that your immigrant visa is already available, and ask them if they can tell you when your interview was scheduled for. And if they cannot tell you that, maybe they can tell you how long people are waiting in that specific category for their interviews at the moment. Again, if they don't tell you even that, just say, okay, I understand, no problems at all, thank you for the information, because it's pointless to argue with them. But like I was saying earlier, on average, it is about a year people that are waiting on average, on average in general. Some countries with heavier immigration traffic, they're waiting, you know, there's a year and a half, 2 years. Some countries with not as much of immigration traffic, not as much, not as long, and it can be even less than a year. But on average, it's about a year at the moment. All right, let's move on to the next one from Huran Anazifi. Good morning, my brother. I have been documentarily qualified since December 21, 2023. I have not received my interview date. I'm currently in Dubai, but I'm a Nigerian citizen. What can I do? Huran, I'm pretty sure I already answered. Yep, I answered your question. So you're in the immediate relative category. So yeah, you've been waiting for a year now. You should be anytime now. Anytime your interview is around the corner, you should be getting it like in the next, I would say in the next few months. Worst case scenario, another 6 months, because like I said, it's anywhere between a year and 6 months on average. Dubai, I don't know if somebody is from Dubai, if somebody has recently went through the interview or had their interview scheduled in US Embassy in Dubai, please comment. That would be very helpful. All right, let's move on to the next one from Masood Ekhtiari. Sorry, mispronouncing the name probably. Thank you for the video. To be sure, what version of Form I-485 should I use if I decide to fill it out today? Great question. Always use the most updated, the most recent form that is on USCIS website, and I believe currently it is the one. Is it? What am I doing? Forms. I-485 there. It's easier that way. I believe it's for August 2024, but let's double check. No, it's actually for October. Okay. So you can use as of right now the August version, but the most recent one is October version. So there is no reason not to use the October version. So I would recommend using the October version and not bother with August version, especially because we're so close to February. And you know, you might file the August version today and they might only review it on February 15th, and they will say, oh, he's still using the August version. Send it back. This is too old. You know, so don't fall for that stuff. Use the most updated one, which is for October 24, 2024. All right, let's move on to the next one from SKD P6G. The change in my status from LLPR, so legal permanent resident, to citizen resulted in denial of my kid's green card. Now I have to file I-130, but they are in USA from last 2 years with approved I-730. Can you suggest some ways to deal with this problem? Also, how the process is going to be since they're physically present in USA. And thanks for your answer to my last query. SKD, you're very welcome. I remember your case. I'm not sure why it resulted in the denial, but I think I remember something about your case that we talked about that and that this is going to happen. But I don't remember why exactly it happened. Anyway, I think because your kids are over 21, if I remember correctly. So now you have to file the I-130 for them as adult kids, so that they're on F1. So the process is practically exactly the same. You can file the I-130 separately. You can file the I-130 with the I-485, the application to register permanent residence. The only thing that I would not rush and probably reach out to an immigration attorney in this case probably would be at least a consultation to see if there are any other options, because they were on the approved I-730. And being on the approved I-730, I don't remember whether you were, I'm pretty sure you were in granted refugee status. If they had on the I-730 granted refugee status and they have been here for last 2 years now, they might be eligible to just directly file for the I-485, the application to register permanent residence, without bothering even going through the family reunification process, if they were already on the approved I-730, which sounds like it is the case. So don't rush with the I-130. of course, it is an option, and it is just as straightforward of a process, well, relatively, as if they have been outside of the United States. In your case, it is much better that they are here, at least, compared to a lot of other families who are waiting for their family members being outside. But again, do some research in the area. I do have a video on this channel on what to look for in a good immigration attorney, and one of the things that the good immigration attorney, who is good-hearted person, who's doing it because they're passionate about helping people and not passionate about making their pockets full of cash, is that they will always have a conversation with you over the phone, and they will be happy to answer any kind of question. There is no reason to hold back. No reason to hold back and say, oh, come in for a consultation. Oh, my consultation is $300. Schedule it. No reason to do that. There's no reason. All the normal good immigration attorneys, they will be able to answer any of these questions over the phone and say, here are your options. You can do this, you can do this, you can do that. And any of these things, if you choose to, you can come and I can help you, guide you through these, help you prepare the application forms, help you prepare, help you file them, help you maintain your case basically for you. But these are your options. There is no reason that they cannot do that. So check out the attorneys in your area. Call a few, make a list of 10 attorneys. Call, see who offers, who can help you over the phone. Hey, maybe you will even choose to work with one, because honestly, if they can do something based on that approved I-730, yeah, I would definitely do that instead of filing a brand new petition, starting the process all over again and waiting for your kids to be current on the Visa Bulletin. Because now I'm pretty sure, I don't remember exactly how old your kids are, but I'm pretty sure they are over 21 now. But let me know in a separate comment. I really appreciate it. All right, let's move on to the next one from Anusi Fimanosak. Definitely mispronounced that, sorry about that. Hi, can I apply status if my tourist visa expired about 15 years and I have 2 baby born here? Okay, so it depends. Well, you can. There's always things you can do, and it's good that you're doing it now. It's been a long time, 15 years. I'm assuming your status is expired, and potentially, I don't know your situation, but it sounds like you're out of status. So if you have been out of status, you definitely need to work with an attorney on this. Same thing, just as I recommend to SKD, there is a video on this channel where I go through all of the things that will help you find a decent immigration attorney. But when it comes to being out of status, yeah, definitely need an attorney, because we are talking about waivers, and I would highly recommend working with attorney on that. So yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one from Susie and George. Thank you for your answer. This is completely unfair, but I can see I'm not the only one. Yeah. I remember your question about the vaccine, COVID vaccine. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Hopefully they get rid of it. It's ridiculous. Every time I think about it, it's like I'm speechless. It's stupid. All right, let's move on to the next one. Damayan Thika Hawita. Hi, thank you very much for your information. Very welcome. Thank you for watching. Mach. Any update on pushing Form I-130? A lot of people seen their processing time get pushed. Well, honestly, I wouldn't pay attention that much to the processing times of the I-130, because the only real reason really is, the I-130 processing times are that long is because of the backlog on the availability of the immigrant visas. So the processing times for the USCIS processing times for the I-130s, they are reflecting of the Visa Bulletin. So if we see the Visa Bulletin times, being cut down obviously the I-130s will be processed faster. There is no reason for them to process I-130s faster because there's huge amount of backlog. So yeah, that's really one of the things with USAS. I-130s don't even bother watching I-130 processing times because there is so much backlog on the Department of State side. All right, let's move on to the next one from Anu Sith Fimanosak. Okay, so just same question. So that's what you're asking about I-485 permanent residence. So you do have to be in a certain status in order to apply for permanent residence. And if you check USCIS website, there's a few, like for example, granted asylum refugee petition, some kind of family reunification petition, some kind of employment based. So you do have to have certain prerequisites, meet certain requirements, eligibility criteria in order to apply for permanent residence. All right, let's move on to the next one from Saeed Muhammad. Because in 2015 they discovered, okay, so looks like there's something else. Hello brother, the priority date is 8/28/2010 F3 and they have not requested any documents yet. Will they request them via email before going to the interview? Thank you. And then another one, because in 2015 they discovered that my wife was married to me at the Abu Dhabi embassy and she had an IR2 transaction through her father. Did she move to the National Visa Center or did they stay at the embassy? Thank you, brother. All right, Saeed. So let's take a look at the Visa Bulletin first and see what's going on. So you're in F3. So you were going, I don't know. Let's take a look at F3, see what's going on in the Visa Bulletin. So you're in all chargeability area and it's on July 2010 and you are in August 2010. So as of January, it's going to be in July 2010. You are in August 2010. So you are a couple months away from being current on the Visa Bulletin. So keep checking. February, March, Visa Bulletin. Hopefully we will see consistent movement. You should be current. That's the good news. But they have not requested any documents yet. So I'm assuming you are not documentarily qualified yet. So that's why let's take a look at the graph B and see what's going on. And it's on July 2012. So July 2012. That's weird that they have not. So are you documentarily qualified yet or not? I'm assuming that because you're saying that they have not requested any documents yet, it means you're not documentarily qualified yet, which is weird. They don't really request anything via email. Whenever it comes to the interview, they do everything through the documentary qualification process through the NVC portal, which I'm assuming you should be familiar with. So my question to you is, have you received the emails from National Visa Center? Have you gained access to the NVC portal? Because your NVC portal should already be open for a while now, for almost like 2 years now, and you should have been able to complete the documentary qualification process. So please let me know in a follow-up comment. I really appreciate it. For everyone who's watching, if you have any follow-up comments, don't respond to my comment within your comment, submit it as a separate comment, because YouTube is not going to send me notification otherwise. All right, let's move on to the next one from Spiderim. Sorry, probably mispronouncing the name. Thank you very much for being a public subscriber. Appreciate that. What is the step to renew my I-131 travel document? Great question. Let's take a look. I'm pretty sure you simply are selecting a renewal. Let's double check. You know what? Actually, I-131 is a travel document. I don't think there are renewals at all. So basically, you're just requesting a new one. But let me double check to make sure I'm telling you the legitimate information, not just something made up. They keep updating everything. It's hard to keep up. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to open the form. There is a way to file online, which is definitely great news. So let's see. So there is a re-entry permit. Okay, It's if you're a lawful permanent resident. There's a refugee travel document. If you're asylee refugee, hold a refugee, I'm a lawful permanent resident that directly result and I'm applying for a refugee travel document. Okay. Travel authorization document for the TPS advanced parole application type. I have a pending I-589, blah blah blah, and pending initial deferred. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there isn't initial parole document, application type, immigration military. All right. Initial request for arrival departure record. Application type and family. All right, so this is still that refugee status. Do you hope? All right, so yeah, so it looks like there is no renewal at all for the travel document. You are basically submitting a brand new application for a brand new travel document. On the plus side, you already know how to do that because you already had one. So the same exact thing, unless your status changed. So if your status has changed, for example, you were, let's say you had a granted asylum and you have applied for travel document, a refugee travel document, you had that, you used that, it expired, and now your status updated, you're now permanent resident based on granted asylum petition. Now, obviously, you're going to be selecting a different thing. So instead of selecting, I now hold a refugee asylee status in the United States, you're going to be selecting, I am a lawful permanent resident as a direct result of a refugee or asylee. All right, makes sense. So make sure you're applying based on correct status, but it's not going to be renewal is going to be a brand new travel document. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. This is it for today. Hopefully my answers were helpful. Like I said, if you have any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to post them, and I will try to get them in the timely manner. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.